based on the position of my car here, can you tell what I'm doing? I've got it off in the ditch with this spot right over there higher than the rest of the engine area. So take a guess what I'm doing. So if you guess monovalve, you're correct. So my reasoning for putting it like this is you get the monovalve highest up in the cooling system, or as high up in the cooling system as possible, to prevent losing as much coolant as possible. I don't normally, when I do monovalve work on these, normally don't drain the cooling system. I just do it like this, and I normally don't lose that much. So I'm not going to do a full how-to on replacing monovalve. I've done that before. We'll just do a quick run through on removing this one, and then what this video is going to be focused on is this Euro rebuild kit. I've got a video where I took a cheap monovalve, and I don't remember what brand it was, and I disassembled it and used the pieces from that cheap monovalve to rebuild an OEM Mercedes monovalve body. And that's what I've been running in my 300D for probably close to 2 years now, with no issues. I kept having failures with monovalves, and the problem I was having is the bodies of the monovalve, the metal does not seem to be enough metal, and so the electromagnet that pulls the monovalve down was working unreliably. There just wasn't enough material, and it just was not a reliable. It just wasn't reliable. It would work sometimes, not work other times. It would work, and then be on the freeway and it wouldn't work. Now this one, my symptoms are I've got no heat on the freeway, which to me, in my experience, what we're going to find is probably a torn diaphragm, and I'm hoping this is an OEM monovalve assembly and not an aftermarket one. So we're gonna pull it apart and we'll rebuild it, and hopefully it's an OEM one. And we'll take a look and see what we think of this rebuild kit. So I was right. We do have a torn monovalve assembly. You can see that in there. And I don't know what this one is. Alright, so we're going to leave all this together like that. We got our big washer. And let's clean this one up. We'll see if we can find some markings on it. See what it is. And then we've got our wavy washer and small washer. And unfortunately, I don't think this one, oh, it is. It's Mercedes, I think. UMB 30-20 something. So let's go through and rebuild this thing. So we're just going to do this quickly. And when Euro reached out to me about this, they told me that they had this kit, which I didn't know they had this kit, but evidently they've had this kit. And they actually, I don't know if it had bad reviews, but they ended up revising it. And there's no instructions with it, but I think we can figure it out. They revised it and changed it up a little bit to improve it. So what we're going to do is we're going to come along here and we're going to peel this rubber piece out from the body, the metal body, and then we've got a clip up here. I'm just going to use a small screwdriver and pop that clip off. should be able to do now is pull this assembly off. There's a little spacer here. Little plastic spacer right here. Just pull that off. And then the housing of this thing should come off. And that's it. Now, when we look in our kit, and they may have instructions written somewhere, but if we look in our kit, we're going to see what pieces it comes with. Now, it comes with quite a bit. Looks like it comes with this rubber piece here, which is a little seal. So if we prop this, yeah, this one is hard as a rock. So we're just gonna push this up right here. It's nice that it comes with that piece. And there's a little washer underneath it. And it looks like just one. And then there's a clip underneath that. I don't see any reason to dig down any further than that. So, make sure y'all can see me okay. So, we've got our clip down in here. And we're gonna slide. Let's go ahead and dump all of our pieces out. We're doing a on-engine rebuild of a monovalve. It comes with a new bottom clip. I'm not gonna use that. We're gonna put a washer, because ours had a washer here. We're gonna put a washer there. We're gonna put the rubber piece right here on. Cone side up. So we just push that over and slide it down. And this thing's all lubricated with, there's coolant all over. It's very slippery, so it's getting lubed up. And so what you'll end up with is something like that. We've got a clip, our old clip, didn't remove it. Then we've got a washer and then the rubber piece. Now, the next thing we have is actually our diaphragm here. And that's just gonna slip on. Now, they included several extra little pieces here, the little washers. Mine didn't have it. So I'm gonna reassemble mine exactly like my old one came off. Now, what we do here, come in closer, is we're just gonna roll this over the edge. And it just kind of fits over the edge. And then once we push this down here, you'll see that we've got room. We're gonna slip our plastic piece on, and then we'll actually have to pull it up a little bit to put our clip on. Now, I'm gonna guess we're just gonna go, well, I was gonna guess that maybe they included the extra metal pieces to put on each side of the plastic, but I'm not inclined to do that, since that's not how our old one was. I think we're better off going exactly like our old one was. Now, the problem we've got here is this fits a little bit on the loose side. So I think what I'm gonna have to do, if you push it up and then push over on it like this, like see how I pulled it up and then I'm putting pressure on it the side of it, which is actually holding it in that position. Now I've got room to get my clip on there. So we will go ahead and put a new clip here. Like I said, we're assembling it with the same pieces that came off of our old one. At least it fell to the ground. That clip fits a little on the loose side. We're going to see how our original one fits. I like the fit of our original clip better, so we're going to reuse it. There's nothing wrong with it. So here's our rebuilt monovalve. And you can see it's got a little bit of rubber, extra rubber there and stuff, but it really doesn't matter. Main thing is, you know, it looks decent quality rubber. You know, we'll see. We'll see how it holds up. Hopefully this is a good alternative. You know, it's definitely, I think, better than buying a cheap aftermarket monovalve. So, can reassemble. Now, we've got a new wavy washer. We reuse our flat washer, and we put it together just like that. And then make sure your flat surface right there, or your surface, make sure that is lined up just like that. And we're gonna go put this back in the car. We'll put our 4 screws in. So quality wise, it seems good. Of course, you know, it's not OEM quality, but I mean, the monovalves these days are, the Bosch ones are ridiculous. I mean, you can buy probably 20 or more, well, probably even more than that, probably 30 replacement aftermarket monovalves before you get to the price of one Bosch. And it's just because they don't make them anymore. They stopped manufacturing, so there's a limited supply. So the price of them has just gone way up. So, like I said, I rebuilt mine 2 years ago just by using the pieces from a cheap aftermarket one and used a Mercedes-Benz housing. So very similar process to what we just did, but this is a little easier because it's made to do that. You know, there was some stuff I had to do to kind of get the other one apart and gluing, and this is, you know, this is a kit made to do this. And you know, they said they've improved their quality based on issues they had with the previous revision of this. So I don't know if it's the same part number, but it would be worth, you know, if you're going to buy this, try to make sure you've got the latest version of it, just to make sure, you know, it's the revised kit. And I would only rebuild an OEM cartridge. You know, I don't think you're gonna have the best of luck rebuilding an aftermarket cartridge. All right, that's it. We're gonna put extra pieces in here. I dropped one clip. Like I said, I bet these are meant to go on each side of that plastic washer. I didn't include it just because that's not how my original one was. You know, there was no instructions with this that said, you know, to put them somewhere, and I'm not going to put them somewhere that they're not supposed to go. So the best thing I can do is just reassemble the way it came apart. Now I'll actually throw all these pieces in a Ziploc because I've got a little collection of monovalve parts from rebuilding these things and getting some from the junkyard, and you know, everything I can to try to, you know, make a working monovalve without spending, you know, insane amounts of money on that cheap little monovalve kit, that what should be a cheap monovalve kit, or what should be a reasonably priced Bosch monovalve kit that has gotten insanely pricey. So I'll give y'all an update on how this works and what I think about it. So we're gonna run this for a while, and I'll do an update video on how it's functioning. So let's go take a look at this real quick. I don't know how to tell, you know, if this is a, you know, whoever you buy this from. I think you can actually buy this stuff straight from Euro. It may be worth reaching straight out to Euro to see if this is the make sure if you're ordering it that you get the updated part. But it's a 000-835-0644R, and it's a heater valve repair kit, Euro-008391. So told y'all I would update y'all on how the cartridge did, and unfortunately it didn't work very well, and I don't think I can condemn the cartridge. So I will tell y'all, when I rebuilt the cartridge in my 300D, you know, I put the diaphragm and everything from an aftermarket cartridge, don't remember what brand, onto an OEM cartridge. So just took the diaphragm, swapped it over to OEM cartridge, and it worked flawlessly. And then it quit working. I took it apart, checked the diaphragm. Diaphragm is still in good shape, and I swapped the electromagnetic coil off of my parts car onto the 300D, and it worked. That was my issue. The electromagnet got weak, and it wouldn't reliably pull the monovalve cartridge down, which caused inconsistent heat. I think that is what my issue is on this car. And I checked around junkyards trying to find another 300D in a junkyard, and I just couldn't find one to try to go grab another monovalve assembly. I didn't have another one. I didn't want to disturb my working assembly on my 300D. And so what I ended up doing was I went a different route, and I replaced the whole thing with a Klima Design Works monovalve replacement. And I'll cover that in another video, but I just wanted to let y'all know that, yeah. So what can I say about the Euro kit? I don't know. I mean, I think it's probably, if you want to keep the original monovalve design, I think it's probably your best route to go. It's definitely probably the cheapest route, and it's, I would rather rebuild an OEM cartridge and risk that than I know for sure the aftermarket cartridges are junk. They just don't work. I have not had good luck with them. So I definitely would go with the Euro kit if you're looking for the cheapest option to get your car back on the road. But like in my case, if it may not be the cartridge, you know, you may have a weak coil in here, and if it is, it's not going to work. And I feel like I could replace the coil and it would probably be just fine. But at that point, I was done. I just wanted working heat, and I'm just tired of messing with these monovalve assemblies. It's not a good factory. It was a good factory option when you could get the Bosch monovalve assemblies, but when that stopped and they became outrageously priced, it just was not a good system, and it's not something I want to keep trying to maintain on this car. You know, parts are not going to get easier to find on these things. They're just going to get harder to find. So looked into the Klima Design Works assembly, liked it, bought it, and I can tell you it works great. So I will cover that in another video. I don't mean to leave y'all hanging on that, but I wanted to wrap this up and just tell y'all my complete experience with the Euro rebuild kit. I really don't think it's a fault of the Euro assembly. I really don't. So I really think I have an issue with my monovalve. I just can't, with my electromagnetic coil here, I just can't confirm that. And so I hate to leave y'all like this without really knowing for sure, but that's kind of where we are with this. Like I said, it seems like good quality. In my head, after rebuilding these things so many times, I feel like it should work in a healthy monovalve assembly. I just think that mine is not. I think my coil is weak. Let me know if y'all have tried this kit or what you think about it, or what you have found as the best solution for monovalves, either repairing monovalves with some other solution, you know, either an best aftermarket cartridge you found, a better source for the Bosch cartridges, replacing this assembly altogether. Let me know. I will release a video on the Klima Design Works monovalve. I'll try to get that out quickly as kind of a follow-up to this video. So anyway, thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below, hit the like button, and subscribe for more.